Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Lifestyle Edit. My name is Megan. Thank you so much for being here today. I am going to share with you some of my favorite products that I am loving right now that I keep reaching for on a daily basis. So without further ado, let's jump into it. I am very excited to be back. Thank you to everyone for their patience and their continued support. I have been taking time for myself and my family and just trying to adjust to my new normal. I took on a new position at work, and that has changed my work schedule. So I'm actually in the office more than I used to be. And it's been an adjustment. I'm getting used to it. My family's getting used to it. And that also means that my routine has changed just a little bit. And I thought that I would share some products with you that I'm really loving, that I reach for every day because they're easy to use and I just enjoy them. I actually wanted to do a first impressions video for you because I purchased a foundation that is new to me, but it is a cult favorite for many. And I also picked up a new color corrector that I don't think it's new to the market, but I had never heard of it. And I'm actually loving these products. So we're going to go through these. I'm also going to finish my makeup, probably off camera, and that way this video doesn't get too long. So I'm actually going to start with a primer. I have been loving this one. This is the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer Sunscreen SPF 15. You can see that I have been using this for a little while. I actually got this sometime last year. It still works really well. I don't have any issues with scent or consistency or anything, but I really use just a very minimal amount, and it basically just goes on these two fingers, and I swipe right here, and I put a little bit up here on my forehead, and that is it. It is very smoothing and blurring to the pores, which is very good. And that's it. I really don't use a lot. This is not my main sunscreen, so I don't really care that it has SPF in it, to be honest with you. I would care more if it affected my makeup application, but fortunately it doesn't. Sometimes I prefer products without sunscreen in them because I do use a separate sunscreen, and sometimes adding sunscreen to product just doesn't do well on my skin. I don't know why. Maybe it's the combination of products. It could be a number of things, but I do actually like this. And this one being the mineral primer, I believe that this one is the oil free. And so I needed that for my combo skin. I have been enjoying this since the weather has warmed up. I had to stop using it for the cooler months and the months with less humidity because it actually dried my skin a little bit. And I was using the CL, which you've seen in some of my past videos. So the next one, this was new to me. This is the Tarte Colored Clay CC Under Eye Corrector. I have never seen this before. Now, I'm also not someone who's a fan of Tarte. I've never really used it, and the one or two things I have used from it didn't work for me. So I was a little skeptical, but when the girl showed it to me at Sephora when I asked, she seemed really hyped up on it. It looked really nice. So I thought, what the heck? I have the light medium peach shade. I believe there's two shades. So there's one darker than this. I just use my ring fingers for this. It does have a mirror, and then it does have this just big open space. I had trouble getting it open the other day, so there's a big gouge in it. So, but you only need a couple little taps, and I do on both fingers. And then I rub them together to kind of warm it up. And then I just place it here on the inner corner of my eyes where I feel it is the darkest and needs that color correcting the most. Sometimes I will try to put a little bit on this spot out here, but I don't know, that spot just doesn't want to go away or be covered in any way. It doesn't really matter what I do. So, I guess it doesn't need color correcting, it just needs concealer. So, but anyway, you can see that that really brightened my inner corners. So that's why I'm really enjoying this. And I think this is going to last a long time. A little bit goes a long way. So that is always very nice. But I tend to put that on first so that it can sort of dry down and settle. And it does a very nice job of drying down almost matte. It doesn't really have a tacky feeling, but I can tell that it really grips the concealer better, and it tends to stay in place better in that area. So I know you're not supposed to, but every once in a while, especially if I know that I have like an important meeting or something at work, I'll actually put it all over like I do concealer so that my concealer grips better. It just works. So you're probably going to laugh at me, and that's okay. But I picked up the Armani Luminous Silk. I said this was new to me, not new to anyone else. And this is like a cult favorite. This is one of the OG foundations that people fell in love with. They've been talking about it since, you know, beauty channels started back in, I think it was 2008, maybe earlier. This is the OG foundation. I've always stayed away from it because it says luminous, but I've been doing some research online the last half of last year, and I kept seeing that the luminous does not mean glowy. It means that it's a natural skin-like finish to give you kind of the glow from within, but not the greasy, you know, external glowy look. And I thought, you know what, let me try it. So I was shade matched in Sephora with 5.9. So you're supposed to shake it up first. So we'll do that. Enjoy some ASMR from my cute little bracelet. So I am going to do about a pump and a half on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to use that dot method that I like. Kind of all over. Now, sometimes I do all of the dots at once, and sometimes I just do them, you know, 3 to 4 at a time so that I kind of know placement. So we're just going to do a little bit here. And it just blends in seamlessly. I mean, it still looks like my skin, but it's not harsh. It still looks like my skin, which is my favorite part. You're still going to see a little bit of that redness coming through. But as you can see, even from here to here, it has neutralized it. Now, you may be able to see that, you know, my face is definitely darker than my neck. So I do tend to run my foundation down my neck, just because it needs it. It may not be something that you need, but my neck is like an entire shade lighter than my face, it seems like. At least half a shade. And it does not tan no matter what, which I'm not going to complain about because, of course, when we're out in the sun, that's where we can, you know, get damage. Sun damage is very, very bad for our skin. And so we do have to be careful and wear sunscreen and all of that. So it just blends very seamlessly. It does have a little bit of a glow, but it's not in your face. It doesn't look like I'm shiny. It's just very natural. So I'm going to use my concealer next. And this is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Smooth and Blur. So I am going to put a little bit on my ring finger. And I'm going to put that in between both ring fingers to kind of warm it up and spread it out. And then we're going to... Okay, there we go. And that's it. Those are the 4 products that I have been loving all together, that I've been pretty much wearing every single day. Now, I do powder because I have combination skin and I don't want anything to move around. I do wear blush. I do have eyeshadow that I have been using. I try to rotate my eyeshadow palettes because, as you know, or maybe you don't know, I did some videos on the eyeshadow palettes that I have. And so I do try to rotate them so that I'm not always using the same one. But I am now with spring coming up, and, you know, my birthday was not too long ago, and purple is my favorite color. So I wanted to get a little bit back into wearing purple again. So I am going to take a few minutes off camera, finish my entire face, and then I will be back and I will talk about these last couple products really quick to kind of tie everything together. And if you're interested, they will be linked in the description below. If you see an asterisk, that means it is an affiliate link. So I may earn a small commission if you use that link, which I would greatly appreciate because it goes toward supporting my channel and helping me to be able to do more with it. But you're not obligated in any way, shape, or form. So the name of the product will also be available for you as well. So I will be right back. And voila, there we go. This is my finished look. I am going to give you a quick rundown of the rest of the products I used. I do reach for these probably the most right now. So they are kind of my current favorites, so they do fit in with the theme. But again, depending on the time of year, depending on what I'm wearing, I might change, you know, those aspects. So that's why I didn't want these to be exactly, you know, my favorites, because I do tend to swap them out occasionally. So I used the Patrick Ta for Face Double Take Cream and Powder Blush in She's Wanted. This is a beautiful color that I picked up, that I actually picked up for winter. I wanted something a little bit darker, a little deeper, a little more berry toned, and I really do love it. I actually prefer the cream blush more because I feel like it's a little bit easier to build up, so that I can start off slowly and then build up. He does recommend putting the powder on top of no, does he do the powder and then the cream? I can't remember, but I do know that the powder is a lot more pigmented. So I usually just use one or the other. I typically don't do both. I'm also using the Lisa Eldridge Betty eyeshadow palette. This is the one that she created after her cat, which is this beautiful gray cat with a couple of like coppery tones and, you know, kind of lavender shades of gray that she put together. So that's what I did on my eyes today. Instead of using Lisa Eldridge's eyeshadow pencil, because apparently it's in my bathroom, I used the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal liner in Cocoa, which worked just as well. And then I did use the Lisa Eldridge Kitten Lash Mascara in the Burnt Umber color, which goes perfectly with the eyeshadow palette. And I threw on a Chantecaille lip, I forget which one, or how do I do that? It's the Lip Chic in Hyssop. This was from the Butterfly collection. And I say butterfly, but I don't think that's right. I think this was, they used the French word for butterfly, I think, for this collection. Anyway, whatever it was a few summers ago. And I really enjoyed it. And this is kind of a neutral on me. So I thought, even though it's kind of pinky, it's also neutral enough to go with the eyes. And I just think it works really well together. So that is all the products. They'll all be linked below. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I really look forward to having a few more for you soon. I definitely have some ideas floating around, and I look forward to sharing them all with you soon. So thank you so much for being here. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and if you have any friends who are interested in beauty or in lifestyle in general, and they are, you know, over 40, maybe they want to give me a chance. Maybe they're in their late 30s and, you know, you're looking for a new channel that's a little bit closer to what you're doing in your life. Check it out. You know, I would love for you guys to stick around and, you know, see what I'm doing. And give me some ideas down below. Have you tried any of these products? Do you like any of them? Maybe there's something that you like better because your skin type is different, or you've just found something that maybe you liked this at one point, you found something you like better. Share it in the comments. Let's get a conversation going. I would love to see what everyone's using and what they are loving right now in this, winter to spring transition. And hopefully we can catch up soon. So thank you so much. As always, please remember to be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and I'll see you next time. Bye.